The descendants of Adam. Genesis chapter 5 verses 1 to 32. This is the list of the descendants of Adam. When God created human beings, He made them like Himself. He created them male and female, blessed them, and named them human beings. When Adam was 130 years old, he had a son who was like him, and he named him Seth. After that, Adam lived another 800 years. He had other children and died at the age of 930. When Seth was 105, he had a son, Enosh, and then lived another 807 years. He had other children and died at the age of 912. When Enosh was 90, he had a son, Kenan, and then lived another 815 years. He had other children and died at the age of 905. When Kenan was 70, he had a son, Mahalalel, and then lived another 840 years. He had other children and died at the age of 910. When Mahalalel was 65, he had a son, Jared, and then lived another 830 years. He had other children and died at the age of 895. When Jared was 162, he had a son, Enoch, and then lived another 800 years. He had other children and died at the age of 962. When Enoch was 65, he had a son, Methuselah. After that, Enoch lived in fellowship with God for 300 years and had other children. He lived to be 365 years old. He spent his life in fellowship with God, and then he disappeared because God took him away. When Methuselah was 187, he had a son, Lamech, and then lived another 782 years. He had other children and died at the age of 969. When Lamech was 182, he had a son and said, "From the very ground on which the Lord put a curse, this child will bring us relief from all our hard work." So he named him Noah. Lamech lived another 595 years. He had other children and died at the age of 777. After Noah was 500 years old, he had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Genesis chapter 6 verses 1 to 8. Human wickedness. When people had spread all over the world, and daughters were being born, some of the heavenly beings saw that these young women were beautiful, so they took the ones they liked. Then the Lord said, "I will not allow people to live forever. They are mortal. From now on, they will live no longer than 120 years. In those days, and even later, there were giants on the earth who were descendants of human women and the heavenly beings. They were the great heroes and famous men of long ago. When the Lord saw how wicked everyone on earth was, and how evil their thoughts were all the time, He was sorry that He had ever made them and put them on the earth. He was so filled with regret, and He said, "I will wipe out these people I have created, and also the animals and the birds, because I am sorry that I made any of them. But the Lord was pleased with Noah.